to when you're being the person chasing, and how do players respond to that pressure? And is it a more difficult pressure to be top?
Both is pressure. So yeah, because you want to have something what you don't have in the moment. If you're top, then you want to have a bigger lead or a bigger gap. If you're behind, you want to close the gap. So both pressure. I find it easier to be the hunter, the chaser, the challenger, if you want. But maybe it's because I was much more open in my life than the other way around. So we will see. But it's both pressure, and both is completely fine. My players now deal obviously with both situations pretty well, and so far, and that's absolutely fine. How we deal with it, for that you have to watch the game. So that's for sure. So without watching the game, we will not have the final answer.
Fantastic. Okay, Jonathan Northcroft, and then we go to Simon Muller. John.
Hi, Jürgen. After the Southampton game, you talked about how you felt the team needed to make more chances in that match. I think you only had one shot on target despite having a lot of territory. And you've had similar issues in some of the previous games. I know you always think about the team and not individuals. So what do you guys need to do to start making more quality chances again?
First of all, this stat is a little bit weird because it counts only shots on goal. In a football brain, if the ball rolls slightly next to the post, is obviously a chance as well. These kind of things. If a ball gets blocked and whatever, these are all kind of chances. But we saw it exactly right. I saw it in that game. Of course, we didn't trade enough that day. So that's again, football problems you always solve with football. Means in our case with training. That's what we do. So, but it's not about, boys, you have to create more chances. That doesn't help really because that's an obvious thing. It's really about doing the right stuff. And again, that's my job. So that's what I do. People think I just have press conferences. Between the press conferences, from time to time, we have training, and then we try to make sure that we are prepared for the next game, and that means the full package. How do we, for example, United? How do we have to defend United? We should not ignore that with all the not exactly the right number of chances we had in the last game. So we can now not just getting wild in front of their goal, putting all boys in the box of them. So that would be a problem. So it still needs to be balanced, and that's what we try. But again, my trust in these boys is massive. So I know they want. We try to give the right informations. We try to do the right stuff in training, putting the finger in this or ignoring that. Both can be very important, and then go again and be ready to fight. And that's what we hopefully will be.
We'll go to Simon Mullock and then finish with Steve Bates and then we're done for our press. So Simon.
Jürgen, you mentioned a few years ago in an interview with Sky Sports that you spoke to Sir Alex Ferguson when you was at Dortmund. I mean, you did stress it wasn't a job offer, but you wanted to know what your plans were. Have you ever kind of wondered how things could have been so much different for you? You could be loved in Manchester rather than Merseyside now. And could I ask, has Sir Alex Ferguson ever forgiven you for choosing Liverpool ahead of Manchester United?
I never thought how it would have been at Manchester. Not once. No, not 1 second. Because I'm completely fine here. I'm in the right place. And that's all good. And even the weather is better in Liverpool than in Manchester, and that's not easy. You have to ask Sir Alex. I think he forgave me. Yeah, I had tonight we will meet again. I had another charity thing to do with him. We are in. I don't know. Yeah, come on. Of course I can tell. Alex and I we have contact. So he texts. Alex changed his phone number quite frequently, and I always get a new version. So that's a big honor. So I always have, this is my new number. So I always think, wow, that's really, I didn't change it that often, maybe I should. I have a really good relationship with Sir Alex. And yes, tonight we will be I'm not sure what he said. From my point of view, friends, when we work together for something good. And on Sunday, he wants Manchester United to win, and I want Liverpool to win, and that's possible. So that's it.
And
Thank
Steve
you.
Bates to finish the press conference off. Steve. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Steve.
But it's really good.
There we go. And you're wearing a coat indoors as well.
On the day when I can do English lip reading, or what do you say, that would be, then I really got the language. There we go.
Put your Hinton on, Steve, and ask your question.
Yeah. Just a couple of parts to the same question, really, Jurgen. Are you surprised? United last won the title in 2013. It's obviously seven going on 8 years ago now. Are you surprised they've not really, given the stature and the nature of the club and how big they are and how big you are you surprised they've not really challenged you in your time here as a genuine title challenger? And secondly, it took, nobody foresaw that Liverpool would not win the title again when they last won it in 1990, but it took 30 years for you to get them over the line in that regard. Could you see that happening to Manchester United as it happened to Liverpool?
Oh, I see so many awful headlines in my answers to these questions, so that I have to think for a second. I thought they always challenged us, to be honest, because the only challenge I'm really interested in is when you face them, and they're always tough games, always. So that's a challenge for us, for them. That's how it is. Am I surprised that they didn't win the league in the last 8 years or so? No, because it can happen, because you don't win the title because you are Man United or you are Liverpool. You win the title because you're the best team in a specific season. And I think they were for sure, I don't know exactly, but once or twice really close to it in specific years. But then City came up in a crazy way and won it quite a lot of times. Chelsea was still there. Leicester did it, all this kind of stuff. So it's not a surprise that they couldn't win it. Because if you are not in a top place, if you don't play the best possible football in that year, you cannot win it. So, but the potential of this club is incredible, of course. So, no, I don't think it's the last 30 years. But who cares, honestly?
Happy, Steve?
Thank you, Jurgen.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.